What would it be like to have the Force? If humans had the Force, would humans use the Force wisely, or would they be using the Force for their own selfish needs? It would be interesting to see a world where we could actually be using the Force to help us with our everyday chores, help us with our jobs, or just help us in general with shopping, laundry, or maybe even to be a real Jedi Knight. If humans somehow mastered the Force, what would life be like? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe, and if you like, please share. Force Push. In the Star Wars universe, both Jedi and Sith use the Force Push in combat and for practical purposes. It seems like a basic and important Force ability that's probably taught to Padawan learners early on in their training. However, if humans mastered Force Push, what would humans use the Force Push for? Most likely to make moving and lifting things a lot less stressful.
All this horsepower and no room to gallop. Hey, Hosea! Away!
Think about how much less stressful it would be to load a giant couch or a fridge or a single box in an apartment or in a house if you could simply use the Force Push. No longer would you have to strain your back, legs, or muscles. You could just use the Force to lift it or push it inside. However, there is a downside to this. If you were the one that mastered this ability, many people would be calling you to help them move in and out of their place. Force Lightning. Force Lightning isn't used for positive purposes. The Sith use the ability to inflict pain for any number of reasons. But in real life, maybe we could turn Force Lightning around and give it a more useful function. For example, if the power goes out in your house or apartment, no longer would you have to wait for the electrical company to come and turn the power back on. You could simply go outside and fire your Force Lightning at the power generators, most likely giving enough power to turn all the power back on in the whole neighborhood. Not only that, but if you were lost in the woods and you needed a fire, just shoot your Force Lightning at a tree and start a fire right then and there, making it easier to survive out in the wilderness.
Look, our only chance is to huddle together. We gotta huddle our bodies together for warmth.
I for one choose death. This never leaves the cave.
Enhanced reflexes. Force sensitivity means being in tune in ways we can't imagine. You move with the world as an extension rather than as a separate part of it. I'm going to guess Jedi are more aware and don't do things like bang and bruise their knees on the corners of coffee tables. Enhanced reflexes would give soldiers the advancement when they're on the battlefield, being able to know when their enemy is going to fire at them before the enemy even fires, or know where the bullet is when the bullet is coming at them. This would give the soldier time to run for cover and less likely to get hit. They would use the Force to know when and where to hide and how to dodge the incoming fire, giving them the advancement over their enemy. Mind Trick. Of all the Force powers, the Mind Trick is the most appealing, and I say the most dangerous. The Jedi use the Mind Trick to manipulate thoughts and skills seemingly reserved for last resort of any kind of situations. Many people would be using Mind Tricks in many situations, either to seduce women, to rob people, or to get past security to conduct and carry out attacks. Security would be just waving them on as they do their mind tricks, telling them to move along. Psychometry. Some Force powers are more rare than others. and Jedi Master Quinlan Vos in Star Wars Clone Wars, the TV show, is the only known Jedi with psychometry. The ability means you can touch an object and learn about people or events associated with it. This would definitely help a lot of private investigators solving crimes, and people would be less likely to get away with crimes. Also, people would not be able to hide a lot of the skeletons they have in their closets, the things they did back in their past. All you would have to do is touch a person and see a lot of the things that they did that many people are ashamed of, that they do not want the world to know. These are just a few things on how the world would be if humans managed to master the Force. Maybe it's a good thing that the Force is in a galaxy far, far away. Is there anything else that I missed? Is there other abilities that the Force would bring to us that I did not mention? Well, leave it in the comments below.